Hello guys and welcome to the League of Europe podcast with myself, Ivor Bryn Mike, Big W and Daka, bringing you the review of the Russian Grand Prix round number 9 across all three divisions.
Correct.
We're just gonna see how everyone's doing first of all. Daka, Big W, how are you two doing?
I'm feeling all right. I've just had a week at school. I don't know why we're going into our personal life, but whatever. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, fine. Still a bit annoyed about my race last week, but
We'll
I've
get into that.
gotten on a bit. Yeah, we'll get onto that a bit later.
That's a perfect segue to jump straight into D3. So Big W, take us away with what went on in Division 3.
Okay, so this week we once again saw a familiar face on the top step of the podium, with Adri taking his fourth podium in a row and second win in a row. However, it was a bit fortunate what happened, seeing myself became the ultimate bottle, crashed with about 5 laps left, got a red front wing, and just destroyed all hopes. But then there was another big incident towards the end of the race involving 3 front runners, including Mike, Edok, and Wakursk, which Mike probably has the most to say about in that. So you can.
Yes, it was just terrible braking. Just terrible braking, that's what it was.
You should have just.
I mean-
You should have just broke harder.
Yeah, if you're following someone, you should always brake a bit harder. But, basically what happened was Wakurst completely misjudged his braking, broke too late, tapped the back of Edok, and spun him around. I was already turning into the corner at that point. And, well, front wing damage. Had to make another pit stop, which dropped me way down the field. Came back out in 8th, but able to stop Adri from getting all 26 points with the fastest lap. So, there
Get
is
in,
hope,
lads.
guys. There is hope.
There was also one other big incident which Mike isn't the happiest about. Turn 2 on lap 1, Edok decides to go for a not so smart dive bomb, ends up giving about 3 or 4 people damage to their front wings. Not necessarily ruining their race, but heavily disadvantaging them. Which, once again, my prey isn't too happy about.
I'm not as annoyed as what James would be, because James got completely taken out by it. Honestly,
James did start on pole, went all the way down to last after the first lap.
yeah, seeing James's car ghost and spin around right in front of me was a shock, to say the least. But yeah, it was just I don't mind him going for the dive bomb because he did have the run on you. But if you're going to go off track, don't come back on the apex when you got people going side by side into turn 2. That's just a bit foolish.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a bit of a runoff where you can rejoin a bit safer and basically not cause carnage. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, we also got to acknowledge Jasper's great performance as well.
Oh yeah, Jasper coming home with, I think it's probably one of his first points, isn't it?
No, I think that's his best position.
Yeah, but it is his best position. A considerably good position, seeing it's his first ever F1 game, coming home in 5th place. Yes, he may have benefited off the misfortune of others, but can't fault his drive.
Nah, he was there for the entire race. He was thereabouts for the entire race. So fair play to him. Got it across the line, and great result for the Alfa Romeo driver. Now,
Yeah, so I'm just going to do a brief look ahead, just looking at how that race has affected things at the top of D3. Adri, with that wins, he's really shot himself ahead in the standings
Yeah.
now, over a race win ahead of James, and very tight still behind James. You've got, the next 4 or 5 guys are separated by less than 20 points, so still all to play for. But yeah, Adri's just on such a good run of form. James is struggling, and overall that gap is just getting wider and wider at the moment.
Yeah, I think another thing as well was the fact that Mr. Rota and MCR were not there, along with Heated as well. So that's three of the top guys
Yeah, three of the top guys.
that weren't there. Now, Adri we know is missing Canada, at least. So that's an opportunity for James, MCR if he's racing, Mr. Rota if he's racing. We know Heated's not racing. Big W as well, a chance for everyone to kind of close back up on Adri with a great performance in Canada.
Yep, it's going to be a cracker, but I guess that's all we've got to talk about for D3 then.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Right.
Should we move on to D2? Or... Oh. Go ahead, Mark.
well, yeah, I think it's only fair we move on to D2 now. Unfortunately, I missed the entirety of qualifying because YouTube decided that it didn't want to allow anyone, sign in to anything or anything like that. So I literally spent the entirety of qualifying just trying to sort it out. We ended up streaming it on Twitch, on my Twitch channel. So if you guys were wondering where the D2 race is, it's on my Twitch channel. So I'll probably leave a link to it in the description for you guys to check that out. But that would be where the D2 race is, and it was a very interesting race because we had Toxic versus Caesar for quite a lot of the race, and there was contact between them. Front wing damage for, I think, both of them actually, because Caesar.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Caesar got a bit of a front wing, I believe, and it really did spice things up because you had Dan, J. Cole, Toxic, and B. Morgan all fighting out for second, and that was an incredible scrap to see on track. And it was literally Toxic was second on the back straight, the back DRS straight, and he dropped all the way to fifth in just that one straight, just showing how close those guys were.
Yeah.
And obviously, go on. What was you going to say, Dagger?
Yeah, it's just really good competitive stuff in D1. But the crucial thing is Dan taking advantage of everything and ending up taking the win on penalties. Second win in a row. He really is the form guy in D2. He did struggle a bit at the start of the season, obviously with the transition from D3 to D2. And even though he might not have the best pace, that kind of consistency and ability to stay out of trouble, avoid penalties, is ultimately paying dividends at the moment. So Dan, right on form at this stage.
Yeah, and he's managed to take the lead in the championship by 1 point over Caesar now, on 113 points to 112 a season. Which I know he's happy about. So,
Dan is the man on form right now. He is like the Adri of D2 right now.
Yeah, Dan, very, very impressive out front. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about the race, I think. I mean, yeah, it was just an incredible battle. Penalties played a big role in the final outcome.
Yes, with J. Cole crossing the line in third and dropping down to, losing the podium spot to Mark.
Mark came out of nowhere.
Mark of all people.
Is that the second race in a row where he's just come out of nowhere to take the win? Not the win, sorry, the podium.
I was going to say, Dan might disagree with you with that one.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Dan is actually missing this race, so I've been told. So, because he's had a problem with his pedal. Sounds a bit familiar. Some other front runner in D2.
Yeah, I'd say so. I have heard this, yeah.
So he could lose his championship lead once again.
Yeah, but well, right now the championship lead is changing hands quite considerably. We've still
Yeah.
got, I'd say, probably six or seven guys still capable of winning this championship. So it's all to play for. Dan has got this advantage right now, but we saw like earlier on in the season he was really struggling to get himself onto the podium. It could go back to that. Caesar has been racking up really good, solid positions as of late as well. He could, go on a charge, as could any of the guys behind. So,
Well,
yeah,
one
really
thing
looking
that
forward
we
to seeing. Go on.
go on. I'll let you finish what you were going to say first.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it is really fascinating how D2 is evolving, and we're seeing, we're seeing this season really heating up there with the championship tightening at the front.
And that is a very, very accurate because it is getting very tight at the top. And
Yeah, and not. Oh, sorry.
obviously with Raikon, who I believe missed, he missed Russia. So
Yeah.
Raikon not being able to put any points on the board makes it just a little bit more tight at the top. And obviously, Dan leading the championship right now. I mean, I think we have to harken back to a certain podcast at the Bahrain Grand Prix where Mark decided that he was going to beat every single D3 lad that came up into D2.
I mean, he's under. I'm just looking at the standings. He's under pressure from Morgan. Even. I mean, he's managed to rebound with 2 podiums on the bounce, but Morgan's got those 2 wins. You never know. So, yeah, Mark must be beginning to regret that statement to an extent. Because,
Yeah. I mentioned in last week's podcast, but he still believes he can beat him. So we'll come down
that
to the very end.
essentially means he's thinking that he can potentially win this championship. And to be fair, it's not even that outlandish. He's, only, I believe, 25 points that is off the lead. So, he's still in there. Getting podiums, being consistent. You never know. Mark could somehow pull out the bag.
I mean, he could very well jump ahead of Dan by the end of Canada. If he gets
that's
all
true.
26 points.
Fastest lap win, yeah.
Well,
As well as Dan taking the championship lead this week, Red Bull has managed to overtake Williams in the constructors, which I've just
D3
noticed. Yeah. Quite interesting. Only 5 points in it, but still taking the provisional constructors championship.
I think losing RJW was a big blow to Williams. They've got a Maledictus now that's actually a really quick driver coming down from D1, but things didn't exactly go his way in Russia. So constructors battle gonna be tight. I think those 2 teams pretty evenly matched in terms of overall speed and consistency. So we're looking forward to that how that unfolds as well.
Yep, and also I think we gotta give a little shout out for the man who finished in 5th place, Starja, as well. I think that's his best performance this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes it is, yeah.
So I think we gotta give him a shout out as well. And like I said earlier, unfortunately weren't able to stream it on YouTube, but there will be a link to it if you guys wanna watch it back and see what went on in the D2 race. But I think now is a good time to move on to the top flight in D1. So Daga, do you want to take it away?
I will do all I can to. So, just going to quickly run over the headline results. Once again, Montana takes the win. That's his 5th win in a row and his 2nd fastest lap win as well. He's really stretching his legs in that championship. But in a way, the real story is what happened behind, because this was a pretty anticipated race in D1. We had a bunch of returning legends from the old days in PRO. We had Mitch Emery, Neo, all those guys, going at it at the front and in the podium battle. And yeah, it was quite a spectacle, quite a joy to watch. And from my experience, just to sit behind and watch it all take shape. But the story of D1 was a massive, monumental battle. I'm talking like 8 cars, 9 cars fighting over P3 at one stage. It was mental. And yeah, a couple of incidents. There was one between, I believe it was Cantera and Masahina as they came together at turn 2. With a bit of an odd incident. It looked like there was enough space for both of them to come through, sorry, but they came together. Didn't quite work out. But yeah, it was a really, really exciting race in which I went from 15th to 4th. So yeah, I had to get that in there. So pleased with that.
Well, is that your best performance in D1 so far?
It's joint best this season.
Ooh, there we go. I mean, you're like me right now. You can smell that podium, but it's
Yeah,
just not happened yet.
yeah, 2 4th places. It's gonna come. Believe me, it's I'm gonna have that one race.
Yeah, I hope so too, but I hope we both get it on the
No,
same day.
you've got a podium, Mike.
It was a gifted podium. Doesn't count.
What does
Hey,
it say in the standings?
I got a win last season in D1, so it's gonna flex that slightly. But yeah, that's my only podium in the entire division. Just a fluky win out of nowhere. So yeah.
Right, well, obviously, I think there is one thing that, we do have to. I feel like we have to bring it up because, from what I understood, there was Montana was going to be taking his assists off, but he didn't.
Oh, this grudge match.
Yes, I did hear about this little agreement that because he was so far out ahead in the championship that he was going to take all of his assists off, but he didn't do
Yeah,
it.
and not only that, it was an agreement between himself and Harrison David. They were both
Yeah,
going to turn their
Harrison
assists off for this
David.
race. Harrison, he stuck with the agreement. He ran no assists and got disqualified. But you have to admire him for that, though. Montana, just protecting his championship lead, just decides to run no assists and scamper off into the distance. So yeah, I mean, obviously Montana immensely quick. He's doing a fantastic job right now. But you could arguably say he's yeah, it's not very admirable to just run away when you've already made an agreement. So
Yeah, that could have been Daka's
obviously,
podium.
yeah, imagine.
Oh yeah, that actually could have been.
Come at me, Montana. 1v1. Actually, no, don't 1v1 me, please.
Instant regret on what you just said.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, I don't really have anything else to add from D1 apart from, if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you do. 8-man scrap for 3rd place at one point, that's insane. That's what we like to see. We like to see competitive racing going on.
Indeed.
So now we move on to Canada. And I think previewing Canada, we'll do it the flip way from how we started. So we'll start with D1 this time, then work our way down.
Okay.
Yeah, so Canada, I don't really know what to expect from Canada because it's probably one of the most intriguing races for strategy on the calendar, I'd say. There's a lot of different strategies that you can run, and they can still be effective. Like you can do soft to hard. You could, even if you're really good at tire saving, do a soft to medium. You can do medium to hard, do soft, medium to stop. There's so many different things you can run with that are still pretty quick. So I think that pace could actually be a limited factor, especially as at Canada you can pick up yourself a lot of penalties as well if you're not careful. So a lot of outside factors other than pace are going to come into play. So yeah, so I'm just going into D1. I'm just starting up the game now. I'm going to check some of the TT times.
Yeah. Montana currently 12th in the world. Not too bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he looks like he's still going to be running running his assists. So you got to put him up there. I reckon he's probably going to take it again, 6th win in a row.
I mean, if
Uh,
he still has his assists on, you would expect him
Yeah, that
to
is
do
very
it.
much
But
true.
yeah.
if he goes to the agreement that he had with Harrison, that would be interesting at Canada.
Yeah. So for 2nd, I'm probably going to say Mitch again, just because, like I said, penalties big factor, and I think as well that is something that he's incredibly good at avoiding. Even just, and I think he's going to improve as well in his pace. Because he's just coming back to the game and he's already getting podiums. That's a testament to his ability. So I think he's going to take 2nd and run Montana a bit closer. And then 3rd, a bit of a wild card. I'm just going to say Cantera because I feel like overall he probably just deserves it. He's very quick on his day, so maybe go with that.
Ah, fair, fair. I kind of have to agree with the first place choice, especially if he keeps his assists on. If he takes them off, Mitch could very well get the win. And I'd say, what's his name? Neo, of a returning
Yeah.
driver. I mean, I'm not too familiar with him, but I know that he's very quick. I think he could definitely be up there on the podium as well. When it comes to
Yes.
D1, though, I'm not too familiar with a lot of the guys, but I will agree with Cantera as well.
Yeah.
Just to
Not
be
I'm
very
gonna
outrageous.
brave there.
I'm going to go on a slightly different note and not include Montana at all.
Ooh,
I'm going to
okay.
say Neo is going to get the win. Probably Mitch 2nd, and then just because you were so close last week, I'm going to say you, Decker, in 3rd.
Oh, get in there, lads.
Just to get your first podium on the board.
Okay, right, you can go
Yeah.
wipe your nose now.
Well, Mark predicted me on the podium at Russia, and it was pretty close. So yeah, maybe
Yeah,
this
very
time.
close.
All right,
Okay, so
D2 next.
yeah, move
On
on
to
to D2. I don't know exactly who's missing this race altogether. I don't know if Raikon's going to be back or if
Uh,
it's just whoever. Just having a look at the non-attendance a sec. Right, so it looks like Dan, DJ Williamson, and I think is that Starger? Is Stan Starger?
yeah, I think so.
So it
He's
looks like
90% sure he can make it.
Yeah.
So he might be able to make it.
Yeah, so
yeah,
the front runner of Dan, he's like the big name that's not going to be competing,
Yeah.
and possibly Campbell as well, because I know he's had some issues.
yes, he's having a similar issue to RJ as well, isn't he? With his pedals at the moment.
Yeah, Dan's having those issues as well, so I don't know why. D2's like everyone's wheels are just falling apart.
I think everyone's just too heavy-footed. You know,
Yeah.
they're just not being smooth enough.
Stamping on the brakes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that happened in F1 Esports, didn't it?
Yeah. I forgot
Dan
who it was.
Bergey, just yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway,
so
get into predictions.
Yeah.
right with Dan missing, obviously we don't know if Raikon's going to be back racing this week. If he is, I think Raikon's going to come back with at least a podium, but I'm going to put him down for the win if he's racing. If he isn't, then I'd say Caesar for the win. But
All right.
if Raikon's racing, I'm going to say Raikon, Caesar, and just because he's managed to get on the podium for the past 2 races, I think he's going to keep it going.
Ooh.
Mark in 3rd.
Mark.
It's a good shout, actually. All right, who's going next?
Okay, yeah, I can go if you want.
All right, cool.
So, I'm probably gonna say, once again, Caesar is gonna bounce back with a win, take back his championship lead over Dan. And then I'm gonna also go with Mark, however this time in second, im improving by 1 place on his last two results. Then I'm gonna chuck in a wild card and say J. Cole could get his first podium, also improving by 1 position on his last race in Russia, which I know he's been wanting a podium for so long. He's improved a lot this year, so hopefully he can bring in a podium.
Right, mine's not too dissimilar from yours actually, but I actually think Mark is going to take this one. I know, crazy. But, yeah, I have heard that he does seem to have very good pace around this track. He's hungry, determined. Well, I'm running out of positive things to say about Mark, but yeah, I think he does come in here. He's in good form. He's confident. I think he can take this. Honestly, I think he can take his second win of the season. For P2, I'm going to say J. Cole because I know from knowing him for quite a long time that he really likes this track and he's improving all the time, as you said. So he could definitely get his best result of the season, grab himself a P2. And for third, it's probably the safe bet, Caesar. He's when he has raced, he's always been up there. You know, when he's had a clean race, he's been getting top results. So I think again he'll take that and move ahead into the championship lead. So yeah, that's going to wrap up D2 then, I guess.
Well, I do have to make one little adjustment because I just scrolled up and saw that Raikkonen is not going to be racing at all this week. But, I mean, J. Cole was going to be within that podium battle that I was going to think of anyway, between him and Mark. I just put Mark ahead because I think Mark will get less penalties than J. Cole. But with Raikkonen out, J. Cole third.
Okay.
So now we move on to D3.
Actual interesting division.
Wow, okay, mate.
No, I don't know. They're all pretty interesting to watch. This week, with the big exclusion of Adri missing the race, could see a different race winner this week. Possibly
Well, I mean, we almost guaranteed to have a different race winner this week if Adri's not racing. So just saying.
I mean, like I'm saying like a new race winner. So somebody who hasn't won this season yet. Okay.
To be honest, the only
so
shouts to that is me, you, and Nico. So I think everyone else has won it.
Who's going to kick this off then?
I'll kick it off.
Right.
I'm gonna say a Red Bull 1-2. However, because Mike's been giving me crap all week, I'm gonna say he's in second and Nico's in first. Just because I don't want Mike to win, pretty much.
Wow.
And then I'll say probably James will bring up the last position on the podium. Just constant. Just confident choice, really. I know he's reasonably quick around here, so I'd expect him to at least be on the podium.
Well, I can't appear to be biased, so I'm gonna have to, pass on the darker while I think of who to put on the podium.
Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm also gonna go for a new race winner, and I'm also gonna go for someone who's in this chat right now.
Oh.
And so, the race winner
Big
will
W.
be... Yeah, well, he called it. What a magician.
I am
Yeah.
Harry Houdini reborn, but
Yeah, so I think you will. You're gonna win it. You're gonna do great. And then second, I'm gonna go with my boy Nico. Mainly because there's history of animals going onto the track in Canada. And he doesn't like animals. I'll go with him in second.
The inside joke,
Well, I
guys.
wonder-
Inside joke.
Yeah, well, I wonder who's gonna get that. And then third, I'll probably just go with James. He'll move himself into the championship lead with that. So yeah, that's good. That's my prediction.
Right. Because I can't be biased, I'm not even gonna name me on the podium. Not gonna do it. So I'm gonna say, if MCR is racing, MCR to win.
Right?
But if MCR is not racing, I'm gonna have to give the win to the bottle job of Russia.
Well, okay, do you just have to mention it every time?
That's how people know you.
What? No, that's how you know me.
I mean, let's go. I'm saying you're gonna win, but take it as a compliment. Honestly.
Yeah, but you could have just
called him a
said I was
bottle
gonna win. You don't have to. You don't have to mention the second bit.
Big W to win if MCR is not racing. MCR to win if he is racing. But I think Educt is gonna get on the podium along with Nico.
Okay, so let's get wrap this up then.
Yep. So, what did everyone think of Russia rated out of 10 for each division?
10, of
Right. So it's a 10 for D1.
course.
Just because of how
Um,
spicy D2 was at the end, I'm gonna rate it 9 out of 10.
I wonder what Will's gonna say about D3.
Yeah, okay, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10 just because of the aids that are provided.
I mean, I think
It was a
give
good
D3
race. It
it was a great
it
race.
had an exciting climax. Yeah.
I'd say for a viewer's perspective, probably, I don't know, like an 8 maybe? But from my perspective, definitely a 1.
Wow, you
Yeah,
related most of the race. That's brilliant.
from
Oh,
my
yeah,
perspective as
great.
well, it was like a solid 3. But yep, no stewards reports have come out yet, so we have no information of any penalties or anything that would be applied going into Canada. So looking forward to Canada. Obviously, there could be a chance of changeable conditions, bit of wet weather out there. I don't know how good you two are in the wet. I am
Terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
In that case, then we gotta call it right now. Ibo to win if it's in the wet.
He's
I
gonna
want to
win
see.
all three divisions. Yep.
I want Ibo to win a race. I really
I'm
do.
just saying, if we go into the last round of the championship and the championship fight's already over, we have to give him the win.
No, I don't give him the win. That's just.
No, why not?
How's he gonna feel if everyone just like goes really slowly and lets him win
Yeah.
by a lap?
No, no, okay, we won't let him win, we'll just accidentally crash on turn 1.
Accidentally, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, after the Discord argument, you and Adri's going to be crashing into Adri then.
Why do you have to bring that into it then?
I think we need to end this now. It's gonna get too toxic.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to.
I'm just getting so much hate here.
It's all banter, guys, but yeah, we're going to wrap up the podcast now. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. Make sure you hit a like. Make sure you subscribe to the League of Europe YouTube channel. And make sure you are around Saturday, 6:20 for D3. Then at 6:45, we got D1 kicking off. And at 7:45.
8. Yes.
8. 7:45. Yeah, I was building tension, you see, guys. I was making people think that I forgot. But I didn't forget. So at 7:45, we got D2. So make sure you guys tune in for... Well, you have to decide between D1 or D3. I mean, if you want quality racing, D1. If you want banter, D3. But apart from that, guys, we'll catch you on Saturday for the races, and we'll catch you next week for the
Next
podcast
week.
reviewing the races. So until then, guys, have a good one, and we'll catch you again.
Goodbye.
Peace.